Hey guys, it's Anna. I'm over 40 and I love makeup, so I'm bringing you 5 palettes by 5 Australian brands that I think are the best today. This first palette is the Day to Night palette by Sophie Karcher for designer brands. As you can see, it's fairly neutral, but I truly do think it's a Day to Night palette. That silver colour, check it out. It's almost got a blue undertone. It's beautiful. I've had this palette for nearly 3 years. Was brought out for Christmas. I find none of their shades swatch as well as they actually come out on the eyes because it's a talc-free formula, but I love Day to Night, so that's my first palette by an Australian brand. My second palette is also by designer brands, and it's Wish Upon a Star. It's similar in design to the Too Faced one, except for these amazing squishy shimmer shadows at the top that are kind of like a cover shock, and then there's a matte version of the majority of the colours or tones with them. So a really easy way to do it is to, put them at your crease and then have these beautiful wet shimmers. This palette is 8 months old. It's still as easy to work with as the day I got it. They're called glitters, but they're certainly not like those annoying press glitters. So, see the shimmers there. Beautiful. I love that one. It's a very long palette, so I like the packaging. I like designer brands. They're vegan and cruelty-free. So I promise you we're going to move on to a different brand. This is BYS or BS. No, sorry. We're going to go with Modeling Co. And I apologise about the filth. It's beautiful, usually the rose gold packaging. Similar to the last palette, although this one has a row of mattes to the very left. At the top there is a row of shimmers, and then it has 6 of the wet sort of effect shades. It's a very neutral palette. I think Whitey's Tarty lauded for being the first person to do this because this existed well before. This one I've had for a year. So this is like Priceline, which is Australia's version of Ulta. If we had it would be their house brand. And I got this palette for $10. Like, certainly, doesn't create hugely boldly colourful looks, but it makes lovely looks. And as you can see, you can press them together, mix them, and come out with beautiful glittery shades like that. What more could you want? And yet, when it's clean, the packaging looks stunning. Now, I believe we're going to go with a palette from BYS or Be Yourself. Couldn't be more different to the last palette. It's the Rebel palette. I love the packaging on this as well. Like the studs are raised, make that really cool sound. And then when you open it, you've just got a glimpse of the colour scheme. So it's kind of subculture-ish in vibes, I guess. There's a lot more mattes and there are shimmers. There's one of those annoying blacks with lots of coloured glitters through it. But aside from that, the rest of them are great colours. I don't use a whole lot of colour. I wouldn't say I never do, but it's nice to have the option. And BYS make so many palettes. I don't have a great deal of them. I do have another one that's the berry palette. So they do a chocolate scented line, a peach scented line, a berry scented line. I have the berry palette. So look at the colours. They just come out beautifully. They sort of dupe and they sort of don't. Like they have this tin style palette. There's the Naked 1, 2 and 3, but then there's like literally maybe 20 other ones. Bloom, Safari, Wild Child, Naked 1, 2 and 3, Unicorn, Crystal. Some of them are all glitter. It's amazing. Now this is a more traditional Australian brand. Australis, it's tiny compared to the other ones. Look how small it is. But for that exact reason, it's a great travel palette. Australis has been revamped, fortunately, in the last couple of years. It did die a bit, and this is just a lovely neutral palette. But the shade at the end of the Mystique there is actually got a really nice green undertone, and it makes the very plain looks. And I clearly didn't take the last swatch off that finger there, which is going to destroy the colour, but it's one of those palettes that always comes out looking beautiful on the eye. You can see it there. Yeah, see that colour is slightly green next to the brown. It's so easy to travel with. I've had it for 2 years. Looks great. And then here's two I included because I really like them. So once again from Designer Brand, this is their first of their 9-pan palette formula. It's called Mauve on Mercury. Funnily enough, when I'm going to open it, you're going to be like, mauve, where? And I agree. And also 4 of the shades look quite similar. Now this is the talc-free formula and it swatches terribly, I will say. On the eyes though, these shades come off beautifully and it is a mauve palette, which looking at it, even I'm looking at it now going, okay, no, that's a beige palette with a strange shimmery red and a strange blue, but it's actually, yeah, I like the 9 pans too. I like the fact that I'm not doing tints, but you can even see on my arm that those 4 shades have come out mauve, and I really like it. It stays all day. I like the style of palette. It sort of reminds me of a lot of, well, they were doing monochromatic long before Colourpop, because that palette was from December 2018, and the Halo Eyes palette by Australis, which is a palette designed for doing one look, but it does that look beautifully well. Look at that stunning olive green colour, that gold colour, and the black in there is the blackest eyeshadow you will ever find. I'm disappointed because I think this must be starting to get old and I'll find another one and then declutter it because the olive green isn't coming out as beautiful as it should. I have a single of that shade from Australis and I'll show you that one. But that is an absolutely stunning palette. So yeah, they were the 2. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.